Hi, if you're a Sagittarius born November 22nd to December 21st, what can you expect for the month of July 2017? Let's tune in and find out. So Sagittarius, there's a lot of good energy, momentum happening for you this month. Doors opening that you haven't seen in a long time. A good sense of yourself. You may find that, things are going really, really well. And then there may be one area of your life that is not. And whether that's a family member or whether it's your own personal battle with addiction, there's this heaviness that's going to actually be rooted out and brought up for you to deal with. And whether that means somebody's pointing the finger at you or it's something that's recently happened, there's an opportunity for you to kind of like deal with this thing that you aren't talking about or that you don't want to talk about. So I see some things can happen. Now, that can also mean these first couple of weeks in July that some secrets could get revealed or released. If right away we're going into romantic relationships, and so for some of you that could be in a romantic relationship, there could be cheating that's discovered. If you're doing that could come out. If so, there's this thing that's been hidden, and it may be that it may even be a gender thing where you decide that you're going to share that you're want to change your gender, right? It's around sexuality. And it feels like it's something that's hidden. It could also be that you were a victim of abuse, and that memory comes up to be dealt with, or the right therapist comes in to help you with that abuse, or that you finally have the nerve to tell your new love interest about an abusive situation that you were in. So it has to do with heavy energy around a sexual nature, and it has to do with around secrets. So this is something that will be brought up for you this month to deal with, and not a bad thing, right? It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's healing. That's why it's coming up. It's coming up because it wants to be healed. The relationship wants to be changed. If you're somebody who's cheating in a relationship, there's a reason you're cheating. There's something that you're not getting, or it could be that you're somebody who does it just because you can, and you don't see any harm in it, right? But our actions, especially our sexual actions, are tied to our money. So if you're having financial problems and you're somebody who's cheating, to plug that financial problem up energetically, you'd want to stop cheating. They go hand in hand. So you'll see that in a lot of relationships where somebody cheats and then they lose all their money, right? And whether that they lost the money through the stock market or through a divorce, there's a loss there. So it can be translated back. So we don't want that, having the understanding of how the spiritual laws work, give us power. So it's not about judging right or wrong. It's about what works, right? And knowing how to help ourselves. So those of you in a committed relationship, you're going to be able to see some of the flaws. Now, some of you may not have had a cheating experience, but maybe there's an emotional attachment, an inappropriate emotional attachment that's gone on, or just withholding information from your partner, lying about things. It could be that the cheating is that, you secretly spend money and you don't tell your husband, or you have this, thing that you do, that, look, my throat's closing up, that you don't want other people to know that you do, whether it's Botox or fillers or whatever, right? So there's this secret that you're holding close that can come out this month. Now, in terms of personal relationships, anything that comes up is coming up to be healed and or cleared, and there's more potential for you to actually rebuild the relationship, especially with the new moon in Leo on July 23rd. The relationship can be put back together, so it can survive whatever comes up. All right, so just know that if you want it to survive, it can survive. Now, for some of you, this may be something so small, so minuscule. By the way, this is about you, so this is not about your partner. So if you're going, oh my God, is my partner cheating on me? No, they're not, okay? Then that isn't for you then, right? So I'm speaking to a large group. So the Sagittarius energy, sometimes even though you're a Sag, it may not, if you're in a in a relationship with somebody and you're not cheating, then that information is not for you, right? The information could be about some other nature or some other secret that's happening in the relationship, but it's your secret. It's not your partner's secret. So let me just be clear that this is something you're withholding. Something you're withholding. It could even be about your mother-in-law, right? Or it could be that you hold a grudge about something and you haven't let it go. It's going to be brought up to be released this month, okay? So let's just be clear. I don't want any of you running around thinking or, trying to catch your partner cheating when it's not. It's your issue. If you're cheating, you already know it, okay? All right, just want to be clear about that. Okay, so now this relationship, whatever it is that needs to be healed, has an opportunity to be healed. So we're talking about coupled relationships and the opportunity to take them to the next level and really create harmony. So Sagittarius, this month you're going to have a chance to really speak about what's not working for you or being honest, and it may just fall out of your mouth, or your partner may just sense it and say it. So just know whatever is being dealt with this month, just be gentle with yourself. This is not about beating yourself up. This is not about putting yourself down. This is about raising your standard for yourself and for your partner, and actually heal it, and then you can really get what you want, especially towards the end of the month. Okay, so for those of you that are single, let's look and see what's in store for you, Sagittarius. So again, this is about being honest with yourself, setting yourself up for what works for you. So if somebody asks you out and it's just like, I'm not feeling the vibe, but yet on paper they look amazing, and you force yourself to go on the date because your roommate thinks, hey, they're amazing. Are you crazy? Look at them, but you don't feel anything. You want to honor that, because that would be you lying to yourself, right? So don't waste any time lying to yourself, right? You know what you feel and what you want when it shows up. So that's an important thing for you to know. By the new moon in Leo on July 23rd, there's going to be much more social energy. There's going to be a relief from pressure, internal pressure that you're experiencing the first couple of weeks to kind of do or be or act or have. And by that July 23rd, you're going to feel more relaxed, and it'll be easier for you to just kind of like be yourself and attract the right person. So I do feel romance really high and potential for a partnership meeting that end of July, okay? So let's look at your money for Sagittarius. So there's something that you may bet on, or they may show up early in July. It may be that you're buying a new program. It may be that you're investing in your business, or you're investing in somebody else's business. That happens early in the month, a place for you to put your money. It doesn't feel like it's a bad thing. It just feels like it's an opportunity that's coming up. And then it also feels like there may be some confusion or challenges around the full moon in Capricorn, July 8th and 9th, depending on where you are. That full moon in Capricorn, there can be like a butting of heads or challenges. So just make sure whatever you do is in writing, understood, clarified, that you don't give money without contracts, that that things are copacetic, so that everybody knows the score, right? Otherwise you could be running into some problems with that full moon in Capricorn. There may be a liaison that comes in towards the end of the July that helps you negotiate yourself out of something you've been trying to get out of. Maybe you're trying to sell a business, maybe you have a dispute with a neighbor, or you have a dispute with a business partner, or you've got a dispute with somebody else, whether it's a car accident or somebody who's trying to sue you. There's a liaison that comes in around July 8th, July 20th, to help you work this out. You want to show up at this meeting open and available to make it happen, because this month, especially in that next 10 days, is a great time period to hash out negotiations and get things handled. the first couple of weeks, if you're trying to negotiate or trying to do something, it just feels like brick walls and people are highly emotional. That's all that Cancerian energy where people are just feeling way too much and being too volatile, being too reactive. So yourself included. So knowing that, I would put things on hold and wait for any negotiation if you have the luxury to do that towards the end of the month. Okay. Let's look at your health for Sagittarius. So drinking plenty of water, Sagittarius, you want to make sure that you're doing that. There's, you guys use a lot of energy and you don't want to get burned out. Your electrical system, you can become, because you do so much, your central nervous system can become burned out. So you want to watch yourself the first 3 weeks of July, not to burn yourself out, not to become overly sensitive. And sometimes Sagittarius, that is from having so much empathy that you know what to do, right? You're so spiritually dialed in, you know what to do. So you go, oh my gosh, I have to go help my kid with this, or I have to help my best friend with that. And so you're taxing yourself. Just know that you don't have to rescue everybody, that there's an opening in the universe for everybody to kind of support themselves, and you don't want to be overly sensitive or overly empathetic to the point where you're getting drained or you're getting exhausted. So just know those first couple of weeks, just to be careful with your own energy, okay? And then I feel like by the end of the month, you'll be able to recover, you'll feel great, and things will kind of like move forward instead of kind of this right and left action happening. Okay, let's see if there's any surprises for Sagittarius for this month. Yeah, so there's a surprise that you may actually get what you want from your family, or your family may actually, something that you've wanted for a long time, whether it's to be acknowledged for something or to be appreciated or counted on. There's a connection with your family that gets healed, or that there's some shifts around it that happen towards the end of the month. So just look for that family ties to improve and for things to come back around so that things can actually be healed at the end of the month. All right, Sagittarius, I hope you liked my intuitive astrology. If you did, please click like. Feel free to comment below and share with your friends. And I look forward to connecting with you again next month.